Be strong. What does it mean to be strong when the heart aches and there is no hope in sight? When holding back tears no longer helps? When the road is rough and it weighs you down? How do we stay strong? Stay strong in community because there is a better life in leading others. Though our lives may not be perfect and we can't promise you there will be days without the dark clouds, but we can promise to be there when it rains and when it hurts. We will be there with you when all seems bleak. We will guide you to wholeness. We are living your dreams.
Hello, family members. My name is Androla Gueyo. I'm an alumni of ASAT Class Set 2021. ASAT Class for me was a life-changing experience. It shaped me into the person God wanted me to be, and it pointed me to the right directions I should take in life. So I'm encouraging everyone out there who hasn't gone for this class to take opportunity of this next set and register. Trust me, you're going to come out changed. You're going to come out a better version of yourself. Shalom.
Get yourself healthy before you get married. Get into your marriage with all those junks inside you. Someone eventually will have to pay for that. So if you're going to get married, spend some time and get healthy.
These are the things you start gisting before you go to work in the morning, because night there's something that must happen. Imagine you tell your wife, I'm coming home, I have gist for you. Hey! It's finished. It's finished. It's finished. They'll be waiting for you by the door. Come. I told you, it's a complex situation.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Charity, Mrs. Anwasia.
Praise God. Okay, ma. Sorry, Daddy. I haven't sit down to check the lives of our parents and see the struggle that they go through right now, especially now that the children are out of the house. Bringing it down to this time that we are. And relating it to what you said concerning marital unfaithfulness. If a man is addicted to work, for instance, and just come home, sometimes carry the work home, now that we have phones, be on the phone, saying, replying clients, doing all this stuff, before he gets inside, he's tired. Sometimes he might not even eat, so he will not even have time to appreciate the food. Sometimes just eat and before I say one, is off. And this repeats itself again and again. What should that woman do? Now, if also it's happening to the other side, like the woman is the one doing this, how can we solve this issue? Checking it out. Because I've seen our parents, this time, they cannot even sit down to talk. Sometimes when I go home, I ask my parents, must you people quarrel over everything? Because I understand that while they were growing, while they had us as children, they didn't have that time to bond, they didn't have that time to talk, they didn't have that time to be romantic. Now, it's just both of them that are at home and they are quarreling all the time.
You see, such a forum is okay. The problem is that what men were taught then was to provide for the family. And providing for the family was that respect they demanded. That's why they overworked themselves and did not think that a woman should be they felt that they are loving you by providing. And if you've learned all this one, is to tell the man, sometimes we nag. I don't know, I saw you they do. And so say, my husband, I respect you for providing and taking the leadership, and I see how you work. You see, that vulnerability now comes in. And I now take it down, for granted for the way you provide for this home. I lack nothing as it relates to what they need. But I may not be the very good wife to you, even in the future. Not because you are bad, but because there's a part in me that feels neglected. When you come from that angle, he will be able to listen to you. But when you come with nagging, because he will tell you, I was at home, I didn't have a job. You told me I'm a foolish person. Now I'm working. Now I'm working. I don't know what this woman needs in my life. I don't know if you understand. So that's why you need to empathize with him when he doesn't have a job then. And tell him, I believe in you and I know you will get it done. And when he starts overworking himself, there's that balance. Because we men were like this. We don't care. When a woman is fully naked before us, it's not our brain no longer thinks again. The blood has left the brain. It's not here. We can't think again. So, to make him think and breathe well, you need to put that respect on the table. First, and verbalize it. Then the brain now rushes back to his brain. The blood.
Okay.
Is it okay?
They said
Then with that,
online.
also you can go and meet people you trust for counseling. Not with fight, but you're seeking solution that works. Thank you.
Okay, there's a question online. It says, could we have some practical solutions for men to manage their work-life balance, to have time for their marriages? Practical steps.
Practical
solutions.
steps. You see, sometimes the pressure of finances. There are people that are out of this country. And most times, they were raised up in a society with emotional support and help. Now they have gone to a place where there is no emotional support. There's nobody you say, let me keep my children first that they come. There's no granny, there's no auntie. And looking at their work, what they have now, what they are earning now, if they stay with that, they will be in deficit every month. And it will be accumulating. So they will now need to work 2 jobs. So there are some practical solutions for such people is that, please, get to a place where you people can live, maybe not expensive, but below the income. So that at that level you can grow. So it may be that there are some things you don't need to get. Because if you want him to work one job 40 hours a week, the 40 hours a week is bringing $1,000 or 1,500 pounds or $2,000, and is now saying that my outgoings and my income is $2,000, my outgoing is $2,000, my income is $1,500. So there's a deficit of 500. And there are children to raise at home. And you cannot go and bring nanny. So maybe the wife will not work. Or the wife will have to take a lesser number of hours. So there's a combination of income that has to do that. And for those who are living there, there are pressures from Nigeria. Please close your ears to those pressures. Because those pressures will work on your marriage. I'm not saying not to take care of your parents or anything. Tell them this is what you are going through and this is what you can give every month. Because these are practical things, so that you don't overwork yourself and put yourself. Even for us here in Nigeria, sometimes the thing we try to do, you don't have time for rest. Some of you work 7 days a week. Why? You want to, you finish work, you go in evening, you do Uber. From Uber, you take some small this thing again, and you do that. Listen, you do that consistently. By 60, you are gone. And meanwhile, at 60, that's when your life, that's when the children are out of this thing. I told my children, once you go bye-bye, me and my wife will move everywhere. Don't call me if you want to ask for Mugo. 2 of us are coming. If you think it's going to come alone, never. I didn't. If you want to move, you come. You come. What is all this? You want to take my wife 1 month, 2 months? And why? Not why? No. I will create a room or 2. You come. You come.
Or we go together.
If you want us for her to come for Mugwo, you create space for 2 people. We move.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Papa mentioned a bit of it, but I just want to ask. It's always easier to teach deal breakers when people are about to marry. There's this teaching of what you should look out for in a man, what you should look out for in a woman. So if those things are not really there, this does not meet your goal, come out of the relationship. Very easy for it to be preached in church, talked about in church. Now, it's also, I don't know, this is Femme Foundation, so I don't know if we have difficult marriages here, because we always talk about marriage, but I'm assuming it's a mixed multitude, and in as much as you have healthy marriages, there are people suffering. So when you come to the point of people already married and they have difficult marriages, what should be the deal breakers? That's the first one, deal breaker, number 1. 2, should it be talked about as often as we talk about it in relationship, knowing fully well that not everybody entered as singles to churches. Now, some people came with their spouses, or sometimes before you even see the truth or you see the light, some people are already inside the mess. So shouldn't we be talking about it? And if we should be talking about it, what are they and at what point? Because sometimes, okay, let me not talk about my opinion or what I think about it. This is just my question. If there are, for people that are already married, I don't want us to take it back to what they should have done. The point is they're already there. We can't go back to what should have been done to go and correct it. So now that they are there, what should be that moment? Because sometimes some of the solutions proffered doesn't really work for everybody at the same time.
Thank you so much for that very beautiful question.
Thank you.
That's a very beautiful question we have asked. Honestly, if you look around our world today, you can see that everybody is now a therapist. Everybody. People are, sometimes when you hear the solutions people are giving people, you practically hold your head to scream for God's mercy. All right? The dimensions of relationship must be that the person who is counseling has a relationship with the Holy Spirit, because there are no formulas for marriage. And then you will now love people enough to look at society and say, I'm going to spend some money to get trained to be able to combine professional training. So when you receive training based on science and research, and you know the word of God, you can bring a balance. All right? So I was saying earlier to us that if you're having challenge with your marriage, you cannot be a doctor in your own case. You cannot be a doctor. You sit down, you analyze what should happen, what the other person should do, what the other person should do, what you should do, and then you proffer answers. You can't do that. So what should you then do? The same thing you do when you're not feeling well. You carry yourself to UBTH. You will not be sick in Jesus' name. And then if the sickness demands that you will spend 100,000, you spend 2 million, you spend 3 million, you go all the way because you know that your life is at stake. Nobody prays to be sick.
Yeah.
The same way nobody prays to get into a difficult marriage. I spoke about it on my YouTube series, difficult marriage, disappointing marriage, and the third one is what? Difficult, disappointing, and damaging marriage. I spoke about those 3 levels. So that when the marriage can be redeemed if the 2 people involved want to make it work.
Yeah.
Like when Pastor Ben was proffering answers, he stated a condition: good-hearted and mentally stable. There are some people who are wearing dress, you are looking fine. Their brain, the nerves in their brain are doing. Now, nobody is saying it because you're wearing a good dress. But there are many people who dress well who have mental problems. So, sometimes you are dealing with issues of mental health before you start now talking about the person's marriage. There has to be people who are combining the breath of the Spirit and professional training. And to get professional training for family life is very expensive.
Yeah.
But the point is that the people are hurting. Marriages are hurting. Some people must make the sacrifice to learn how to solve that problem. I don't know whether I answered the problem for those who are struggling with their marriages. There are difficult marriages everywhere. But the people involved must say, we have found a problem, we need to find answers. Where the challenge is where one person says, I'm ready, and the other person says, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
It becomes a big problem. It means that as you're doing it, the person is spoiling it. The person, and then also know that sometimes what the marriage is going through is not psychological, it's not social, it's not biological. You know that the woman is sick and the husband ran away, or the husband does not know how to cope. It's spiritual. For 5 years, we were battling with divorce. We were deciding we were going to divorce. For 5 years. We couldn't get it together. Why are you looking at us like that? We couldn't get it together. We just couldn't make it work. Until our spiritual father held our hands, and we have so much respect and honor for Apostle Lawrence. I know there are many powerful pastors who are known all over the world. My spiritual father is the best. You can't fault me on it. He's my daddy. He's my father. He may not be known all over the world. He may not have 1 million followers on the internet. But that's you don't select your pastors. He said, I will give you. This is the one that God has given you. You can't say it's not good. So it's important. I don't know whether I cleared that. And that's why, church, we now have to consistently have maybe week where we're talking about marriage, about family. It might have to become a part of our normal program to avoid pain, to avoid difficult marriages, disappointing marriages, damaging marriages. We will not, as a couple, we will not tell any couple to stay in a marriage that will damage the person's life.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, did I answer the question?
Knowing fully well that people make mistakes. For those that have made mistakes, that are already suffering,
yes,
we don't hear so much of what they should be doing. It's apart from do more. There is more you should do. More prayer, more counseling, more this. For how many years more should they do?
Another
And
very
if we should be talking about it, what are they? Papa mentioned something when he was talking, that a man that sits at home is not doing anything. He was talking about marital unfaithfulness. Now, in as much as he doesn't like, as a way of his personal values, talking about divorce, but when it gets to a point like that, he would want to talk about it. I think that's where my question actually came out from.
Okay.
You know, we all have our individual values that you may never want to suggest or even talk about, especially from the pulpit, because it's a topic that has a lot of things around it. So where should couples match break when there are problems? Or is this something that should never be talked about? It should always be the other way around of let's walk around it. Whether the work is working or is not working.
Thank you. My wife already talked about damaging marriages.
Yes.
You can't afford to stay in a damaging marriage. And I want to tell you that God is a divorcee. He divorced his wife. He divorced Israel. He said, I divorce you. The whole book of Hosea was trying to say how God restores. And when it got to Malachi, because many people take that Malachi too far and say, I hate divorce. It's not that it doesn't, that you shouldn't, that because he's a divorcee that says, I will hate divorce. He's talking about his emotional struggle he's going through as a divorcee. Because he divorced his wife for marital unfaithfulness. And sometimes we believe that a divorcee has no future again. Who told you? And sometimes we believe that a marriage that is just difficult should just pack up. Who told you also? Everything can be redeemed, including time. So my first thing is not to go for marriage, for divorce, but when there is consistency, breaking of the marriage ketubah, there's consistency, no remorse, thinking that I should be covered or she should be covered or no, everybody should take me the way it is. No. That's where I put a break and say no. No. Because you cannot go into a marriage healthy and come out, you are disoriented. Do you understand? I won't go for divorce, but the person is not a good-hearted person. He's not mentally stable. And you want me to die there? No.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, family members. My name is Benson-Akhigbe. I'm an alumni of Asset Class Set 2021. Asset Class for me was a life-changing experience. It shaped me into the person God wanted me to be, and it pointed me to the right directions I should take in life. So I'm encouraging everyone out there who hasn't gone for this class to take opportunity of this next set and register. Trust me, you're going to come out changed. You're going to come out a better version of yourself. Shalom.
Shalom, I'm Benson-Akhigbe. Among all the children she bore, there was none to guide her. Among all the children she reared, there was none to take her by the hand. I'm God's secret weapon. Are you God's secret weapon? Every 6th day of the week, otherwise known as Friday, at 11:50 p.m. West African time, we gather together to do two things: to guide nations, families, individuals into destiny, to take gates of society by the hand and lead them into destiny. In two ways: We're breaking everything hindering you from having that great connection with the Father. At the same time, we're raising God's weapons who will help others, take them by the hand, lead them into destiny, break all manner of deficiency, all manner of poverty, poverty of health, poverty of opportunity, poverty of relationship, poverty of all kinds, not just poverty of cash. Again, it happens every 6th day of the week, otherwise known as Friday, at 11:50 p.m. West African time. I am God's secret weapon. Are you God's secret weapon? Join me. Thank you.
Be strong. What does it mean to be strong when the heart aches and there is no hope in sight? When holding back tears no longer helps? When the road is rough and it weighs you down? How do we stay strong? Stay strong in community, because there is a better life in leading others. Though our lives may not be perfect, and we can't promise you there will be days without the dark clouds, but we can promise to be there when it rains and when it hurts. We will be there with you when all seems bleak. We will guide you to wholeness. We are living your dreams.